To have the very first words welcoming you to Emerson's campus today, I'd like to invite Interim President Bill Gilligan of Emerson College to come and welcome us.
It's a distinct honor to welcome you to Emerson College for the Education in Prison Conference, which is being hosted by EPI, the Emerson Prison Initiative. I want to begin by thanking the many people who have made this conference possible, in particular, Manisha Gelman, founding director of Emerson Prison Initiative. EPI has been as successful as it is because of Manisha's incredible commitment to ensuring incarcerated persons have access to higher education. Thank you, Manisha. I also want to thank the EPI leadership team, the faculty who teach in the program, and the EPI students whose willingness to learn and capacity for growth, especially under adverse conditions, is unmatched. And finally, I wanted to thank the members of the Boston community who not only support college and prison, they prioritize it. Thank you all. Emerson College has supported EPI and its mission since its inception because we believe in the transformative power of education. We believe in the importance of taking affirmative steps to address structural inequities by making higher education more accessible and equitable. And we believe that EPI has the potential to make a real difference in the lives of EPI students and in our society. In fact, we know it's already doing that. As an institution of higher learning, it is our moral obligation to use our resources and our expertise to serve the community in which we live and work. The Emerson Prison Initiative is perhaps one of the best examples of the college's commitment to civic engagement and responsibility, which has long been one of Emerson's core values. Today's conference is a wonderful opportunity to come together and to learn about college and prison and about the importance of the benefits of making higher education accessible and equitable to incarcerated people. Again, thank you so much for being here and for your support of this very worthwhile endeavor. I'll turn it back over to the boss now.
Those of you in the back, feel free to grab a seat. You're welcome to bring your coffee to your chair, no pressure. Well, as President Gilligan just told you, my name is Manisha Gelman. I'm the founding director of the Emerson Prison Initiative and an associate professor of political science here at Emerson College. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. This conference took many thousands of emails to come to fruition, so it's a delightful thing to get to finally have it arrive. I'd like to begin with a land acknowledgement and then tell you a bit about the Emerson Prison Initiative and end with a few ideas on how we can better support college and prison programs. First, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we're gathered. The Massachusetts people never ceded the land that makes up the city of Boston or the current Emerson College campus. I invite us to feel the heaviness of what colonization means and to think concretely about our individual and collective potential to address historical and contemporary injustices. How can we use our time together today to discuss ways that we can be involved in structural change about incarceration? The Emerson Prison Initiative, or EPI, began as a hope to intervene in carceral systems, meaning systems of incarceration or confinement. And it's one that a committed group of colleagues and administrators have helped to make a reality. For me, this project is personal, too. When my father was incarcerated, just as I was starting college, I didn't realize the lifelong impact it would have on my own family. But here I am, and here we are. I want to take a moment to extend my gratitude, as President Gilligan said, but I want to reemphasize because there is so much labor that constitutes this work. I want to thank former President Lee Pelton, former Provost Michaela Whalen, and Dean of the Marlborough Institute, Amy Ansell, who approved the launching of EPI in 2017, which demonstrated an institutional commitment that has been maintained with current interim President Bill Gilligan, interim Provost Jan Roberts-Breslin. I'm so grateful to the current and past EPI Advisory Council members and the more than 30 Emerson College faculty who, as well as guest faculty from other universities who have taught EPI courses behind the wall. In doing so, they've contributed their intellectual vitality and social justice commitment to the work. So sorry, I'm getting over a cold. Too many senior administrators and college offices to name have played a role in more deeply institutionalizing this commitment of Emerson College to both current and formerly incarcerated college students, and for that, we're deeply appreciative. I also want to welcome and thank legislators and other government staff for joining us here today, whether on live stream, and I think we have 150 plus people joining us via the live stream, as well as in person, for sharing our interest in educational access in prison. Special recognition, as President Gilligan said, but I'm going to reemphasize, goes to EPI's Assistant Director, Kara Moyer-Duncan, and Site Coordinator, Stephen Shane, for their tireless labor on behalf of this program. Yes, thank you. And the many, oh, thank you so much. The many sponsors of today's program are listed on your agenda, or your folded program that was available at the door. We can pass those out because I don't see very many of them floating around. But thank you to all of the sponsors that allowed this conference to come to fruition. And most of all, I want to thank EPI students, past and present, for working so hard to excel in college while incarcerated. I know some of you in this room know a lot about EPI, but for those newer to our work, let me tell you a little bit about the Emerson Prison Initiative at Emerson College. We offer a bachelor's degree pathway to people incarcerated in 2 state prisons, the medium security Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Concord and the minimum security Northeastern Correctional Center immediately across the street, sometimes referred to as the Farm. We began this journey in 2017, and to date, 8 incarcerated students have completed all 128 credits required to complete the bachelor's degree in media, literature, and culture from Emerson, and that class graduated last fall. A second cohort of 20 students admitted in 2021 is in the midst of working towards their degree, and we're hoping to admit a third cohort this coming spring and summer. Re-entering society from prison is really hard. And in 2021, EPI created the Reentry in College Outside program, or RECOUP, which is now supporting 5 former EPI students with their transition to life outside prison. From obtaining state IDs, health coverage, driver's licenses, renting an apartment, learning technology skills needed to keep up in today's school and workforce, the reentry process entails a staggering amount of labor alongside a lot of bureaucracy. There are currently 3 former EPI students working to complete their degrees here on our Boston campus, and 1 alumnus who left prison with his degree in hand. And for those of you able to join us for the 1:30 alumni panel, you'll get to hear from all 4 of them today. Together, the many people who participate in the work of making EPI function help further our goal to intervene in carceral systems in positive ways that help create community well-being. We do this through interventions in educational access that impact multiple generations, fostering students with a strong set of skills who challenge themselves and their communities to collaborate on solutions. College Inside does so many things for students who are incarcerated. Recently, an alumnus of EPI reflected, "Going to school gave me the confidence and ability to name things. We use education to give names to the world. Once you learn how to name something, the power dynamics shift, and you're no longer fighting some phantom ghost." Another student commented, "We believe the classroom is a sanctuary, a safe haven, a refuge, a place where chaos ceases, Noah's Ark in hell, where humanity is restored." Like Emerson College as a whole, EPI strives to support students to become critical thinkers and engaged citizens as they prepare to address social problems. And yet we face so many obstacles in this work. In an October 2022 position paper from the Boston Foundation, which I will point out there are hard copies available on our EPI table over there for free, so please take one, a group of signatories, including myself, asked the incoming governor to do 3 things to support college in prison. First, to make college in prison a priority as a component of any criminal legal system agenda. Second, ensure that physical space within state facilities be dedicated to college and prison programs so that they can grow. And third, give colleges adequate access to incarcerated students to work with them on an ongoing basis. And that agenda is spelled out in that position paper that's over there on the right-hand table. We hope that decision makers here today can work to reduce obstacles for college and prison programs. To quote the Boston Foundation report, "Our prison system in Massachusetts can and should honor education equally on par with other factors that take up the time and determine the location and classification of people incarcerated in our state," end quote. Programs like EPI deserve a seat at the decision-making table as policy decisions directly guide how we're able to expand the benefits of educational access. I want to acknowledge that many of us envision a world in which public safety is managed in a way that precludes the act of incarceration or enacts a less punitive approach. However, as long as people are incarcerated, the Emerson Prison Initiative is committed to, in the words of a colleague, making the harshness of the world a little more bearable. As this day unfolds together, I ask you to challenge yourself to reflect on what opportunities you want someone behind the wall to have. These are future neighbors, colleagues, or loved ones. How can they cultivate the life of the mind? You'll hear in the following keynote and panels about the many-sided impacts of college access. It benefits self-esteem and opens up new doorways to imagine the self and the future. It's a cost-effective way to intervene in unfair social hierarchies that are entrenched in our world. It's a dignified use of time. I trust that you'll learn from the coming day together, and I hope that you will each find ways to translate learning into action in whatever communities you reach. In closing, I want to note that we're living in a moment of profound social division where identities are weaponized and political agendas are too. Social change and political will take all of us from across a wide spectrum of perspectives and vocations, agreeing that something is worthwhile. We think that something is access and equity in education for incarcerated people here in the Commonwealth. Let's continue to find ways to do that better and together.